Oh my God. Hi there. Welcome to the Sacred Success Business Breakthrough. Holy crap. I couldn't believe how many people are here from all these different countries. I'm like in tears looking at this amazing group of people. You know, when you come together, like they say it, when two or more are gathered together in my name, there I am, right? And there is a sense of extraordinary energy that we do together when we come together as a group. It just exponentially raises the vibration for everybody here. So I'm so incredibly touched, and I hope you're all on my newsletter list too. I noticed how many people here from Europe and obviously Australia, and somebody from Tasmania, like, and you guys are in the middle of the night and it's tomorrow, and like, wow, you're in the future. And we have so many people. That'd be good if we turn all those beepings off, Mark. And so many people from the Philippines, from like all these other places. I'm just so amazed and excited that this is happening. I normally ask you to tell me what you're most excited about for this workshop, but today what I would really love to do is just start our day with an acknowledgement. And if we could put our hands on our hearts, and we go like this. And I want us to imagine that we are sending, certainly I'll just mention that a couple of my team members, one of my team members right in the middle, she came to work today and right in the middle of a conversation had to run into her bathroom with her family because of a tornado watch. And someone else here that's on the team is also unclear about whether they can stay because of the hurricane. And just to see these people so dedicated to come here to make sure that you have a great experience just blows my mind. And I know that there's a lot of people right now experiencing floods and the hurricanes, especially in the US and South Florida and all the other states down there. And then of course, I know that, gosh, my friend told me in Lisbon there was a cyclone. So this is going on everywhere in the world. And of course, we don't need to, we know the other places in this world where people are suffering. So I just want us to hold our hearts and know that we are sending whatever goodness that we can there. And nothing is trite. And even this means something. I know people say, oh, it doesn't mean anything when you send love or you send hope. But people need hope and they need to be inspired. And a lot of people right now aren't. So let us be the ones that can carry that torch forward. The other thing too about, when you learn about the spirit of your business, I've talked for many years about compassionate prosperity, that when we are in alignment with the inspiration that comes to us to create either a creative project like writing a book or having an entrepreneurial business, or, from anything from making pies to like spiritual work, it doesn't matter. It's that we're here to serve. And so we're here to make life better for everyone. So when we keep that in mind, if you're here with me now and you are somebody that has the capacity to be here, then we have a responsibility to follow our dreams so that we can show that no matter what's going on in the world, we can still hold that torch and be ready for those who need us, right? And for those who maybe can't reach out now, or we can also, the more successful that we are, the more that we can help others when they need help. So there's this thought that I want to instill in you before we actually start. So if you are someone who wants to start your own business, or Mark, my thing just disappeared. Sorry, I have notes. If you want to start your own business, or let's say you're writing a book, you're writing a book, or maybe you want to grow your business. Maybe you have a business already that you love and you want to expand it, or you got really caught up in seeing the outer world as a focal point, which many of us have done. And then we get scared because we think, oh, it's never going to happen, or, whoa, my dream doesn't count because people are suffering. Do you see what I mean? So this can happen to us. And maybe you're here to rekindle your inspiration. But bottom line is, if you found your way to this workshop is meant for you for sure. I am not a normal business coach or leader, but my work is meaningful and it works. So my goal is to help you, manifest real change in your business or your creative projects by not just doing things like we have to do practical things, but by tapping into the power of your intuition, but mostly your connection to the universe, to spirit, or whatever you want to call it, this conscious universe that we're part of. And to learn how to develop a spiritual and dynamic, real-time, sacred relationship with your work. Not something you do, right? It's something that you love, and it's something that loves you back, and it's something that you were put here to do, right? You want to know that what you're putting out in the world is sacred. And if you treat it like that, even a pie, and I go back to a pie because one of my clients started a pie shop, but it's like even the pie is sacred. You know what I'm saying? So we're here to learn a new strategy about how to make entrepreneurship sacred and a very unique way to communicate with the soul of your business. And I know that's a freaky concept to some people. And actually, I know a bunch of you have been here 3 times now. So, it's, when you first got there, it's like, whoa, what is this? But then when you actually experience it, it's like, wow, this really means something. So yeah, your business, your book, your passion project, it has a spirit. It has a presiding spirit, and it wants to talk to you. Do you want to talk to it? Well, you should want to, because if you're willing to keep an open mind and let your imagination soar, by the end of this workshop, you're going to have that renewed sense of purpose, greater clarity of how to move forward in your work, and some new and exciting tools to help you manifest your dreams. Now that's over the next 3 days. Sorry, my nose is really itchy, and it always happens when I'm on camera. My nose itches and I touch my face. I'm so sorry. Anyway, you probably already know who I am. I'm Colette Baron-Reid, and maybe you don't know this because you might have just gone, oh, that looks cool, I'm coming. But I am passionate about helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, and creatives wake up to the full potential of their businesses. So I am going to invite you to connect to the heart and soul of your business, your book, whatever your passion project, using my unique metaphysical approach that I am not kidding you is tried and true. It works. So I should give you a little bit of background. For many years, the only clientele I worked with were highly successful business owners, founders, and entrepreneurs, where I actually use these very techniques that I'm going to introduce you to in this workshop. Those were the only clients that I took. I retired from doing overall readings. The only place I do readings is actual readings. Readings is in my membership site twice a month. But I started working as an intuitive strategist because I'm really good at it. And I developed these and they really worked. And so even today, I only work with a couple founders of businesses. We do intuitive business strategy. And honest to God, every time there's an issue, we go back to the spirit of your business and say, let's have a talk with that. And it invariably when you do that, you invariably come up with incredible things that you wouldn't normally. So why not teach it to you too, right? So all I just want to ask you to promise me one thing over these next 3 days. You bring an open mind. You open up your imagination. You don't try to control it. Stay curious. Curiosity is your superpower, okay? So this is the first in a series of 3 live trainings in the workshop. So I teach you how to approach your business very unconventionally, all right? And I know, as I said, a bunch of you had done this with me before, but the best part is the more you do these exact exercises over and over again, the more epiphanies and information you receive about your potential. So welcome back. Everything that I do, by the way, is created so you can do it again. That's the way I teach. It's the best way to learn anything and have fun doing it, so you're not feeling like you're bogged down with education, right? Anyway, let me break down what we're going to do. So each live session, I'm going to guide you through an exercise to help you connect with the spirit of your business. And I'm going to provide you with printable worksheets for extra support that you can download on the event dashboard. Sound good? Okay, so with that, I want to take a trip to the past. Let's do this together. And by the way, very cool that I could talk to you in the chat. I typically don't get on the chat, but we're short-staffed today, so it was me in there. I was so excited. Anyway, I want us to go back to the beginning. When you felt inspired to start your business, launch your practice, write your book, where do you think that inspiration or calling came from? I want to hear it from you guys. Is the chat closed? No, I'm going to open up the chat here. I'm going to look. What do you think? Where does it come from? Inspiration comes from spirit. So, and by the way, when I look down, I'm looking at you. You're down below here, and you're up here and down here, right? Yeah. Your intuition, right? Spirit, deep within. That's right. Inspiration means of the Spirit, inspiratus. That's where it comes from. It's a Latin word. So when you felt inspired or you felt called, where did the calling come from? It comes from Spirit. So everything begins in the realm of spirit, including the idea you had for your business, your book, or your creative project. Your inspiration, your calling, it's something that you were called to steward. You understand what stewardship is, right? You receive this and you steward it forth into this world on behalf of the divine. So I really need you to get this through your head and really hear from your heart, because your head's going to probably say, no, I'm not worthy. You were chosen for this. This is part of your cosmic blueprint for success. And everyone has one. Everybody was born with that. And I call it a cosmic blueprint. It's something I used to hear back in the 80s when I first really learned about all this. You know, when somebody was teaching a book teaching from a book that was about this. It was like written in the 30s, but it was fascinating that we all have a map, right, of our purpose, our potential, and the possible expression of all that in this lifetime. And actually a really, really good astrology chart will be something that helps you understand this. But especially for entrepreneurs, healers, writers, or creatives, a big part of that expression is going to come from your work. Not everybody's does, but yours does. Right? Like some people are born to have work that is an extension of themselves, right? So the issue that everybody has is that we think we have to do everything all ourselves, right? Like that we have to go outside of ourselves to find our purpose. You have no idea how many people used to ask me, I need to know what my purpose is. But your purpose is in you already. It's not out there. You don't have to look for it, and you don't have to hustle for your worth. Once all of us have our inspiration, right? It's all on our shoulders. And even if it's just a minute, right? Who feels that, right? Is that what you think? It's all on our shoulders. Once we have our inspiration, it's like, you know, what's my purpose? What is it? I wonder what it is. Anybody? Right. I love that you're all saying yes, right? It takes practice. Yes, it's 100,000% true, right? All of us have that, even me, right? I mean, I'm a go-getter, doer. And I have to remember that it's my partner, Spirit, the spirit of my business, who brought you here in front of me to help you find yours, which isn't far. It's right in front of you, but you can't see it yet. But knows that it's an ebb and flow. We have to go with the cycles too, right? So remember what I said before, that inspiration comes from Spirit, the conscious universe, God, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it. And FYI, that blueprint also comes from the same place, decided even before you were born. Now, that you have to keep an open eye with this. Some people don't believe this, but just for our purposes here, we're going to agree on a hypothesis, right? That this was decided before you were born into the body. Because you are here to be a vessel for the conscious universe so it can experience itself in manifest form. I'm going to repeat that. I really want you to get this. You are here for a purpose. Right? We are going to be talking about this further, should you choose to keep going with me after these 3 days. But I'm telling you, if you get this, that you are here as a vessel, right? The conscious universe needs you so it can experience itself in manifest form. It needs an experience. It has no form. It needs you as a conduit to know what it feels like in the touchy-feely world. We're a big, fat experiment. Does that make sense, all of you? Right? It's so true, right? Like we are here. And doesn't that feel better? Right? Doesn't that feel better to know that you're here like for a purpose? The people say, what's my purpose? That's your purpose. Your purpose is to be that channel. And everybody is that. It's that we're built weird. I don't understand why we got built the way we did with our ego, thinking that we have to do everything. I mean, like, wow, talk about Earth School, right? I mean, all the stuff that we have to unlearn by the time we die. It's like so crazy. We come in knowing all this stuff and then we forget everything and then we have to remember it all the rest of the, But hey, we signed up, so there you go. So how could you not consider taking a metaphysical approach to your business on top of the practical? instead of relying solely on your intellect and human willpower and expecting everything to follow a predetermined, limited plan. When you might actually have a partner you haven't met yet, or at the very least don't know quite how to listen to, that's been chatting with you off and on anyway. When you hear it, every time you get that feeling or like, oh, I'm on track, that's what that is, right? You've let your guard down enough to know that spirit's actually present, right? And here's the thing, you are going to have a transformation experience, a personal transformation experience when you get into business or when you decide to write a book. You cannot separate yourself from that, and you are responsible for that, right? I was watching a friend of mine's post a series of posts. She's a phenomenal business coach, and talked about that there. Like, people come in and, you know, and this is something you can't be in denial about. You have to become the person that has the success. So there's going to be challenges. That's great, right? So you have to look at it like, whoa, you know, I'm on this really cool ride, and I'm, as I become this, right? So actually, I should just tell you a story. I have learned a gazillion things along the way to becoming a very successful business owner. And there, by the way, too, your teachers should always know the material and not be guessing at it when they teach you. They have to be the person that has experienced all the stuff to be able to teach you. And I've done tons of things wrong, and I've gotten things right, and nothing was wasted. But I now have I've been doing this work now for 36 years full time. I might have some knowledge, right? And I know this stuff works. So I have learned that it can be a long and winding road for some of us, right? And for those of you who have heard it before, I'm going to give you the shortest version possible, and just pay attention to what you resonate with, and don't compare yourself to me. And by the way, anytime somebody shares a story to illustrate what they're teaching, remember, it's about identifying with some of it and not comparing yourself, because you will always find something different about yourself and someone else. So again, without going into too much detail, but for you, there's a lot of you here are new to me, so I need you to know that over 38 years ago, actually 39 years ago, I hit a huge bottom in my life. I had become a drug addict and an alcoholic, a survivor of violence. And I'm not going to go into that, but that was all part of it, lots of that. And I ended up in a women's treatment center. I got clean and sober, and I have stayed that way ever since January 2nd, 1986, one day at a time. Now, my sobriety and the spiritual path that I began 38 and a half or almost 39 years ago is still fundamental to everything that I do. And why am I telling you this? Because that person there and this person here, there's a big gap between those two people, right? How did that happen? Because I learned in those beginning days that if I was going to stay alive and thrive in any way, shape, or form, my life needed to be built on a solid spiritual foundation, or I could go back to the way I was and I could die. So for me, it's life or death. I learned how to meditate, how to pray. I was right in from the beginning. I did therapy. I looked at myself with rigorous honesty, and I started to hold myself accountable for all that had happened in my life. And I started to rebuild my life with all of these tools and practices, some of which I'm going to show you, right? I mean, everything that I did is part of what I do. You know, at the time I had a job that paid well, and that had enabled me to pursue my passion, which was a musical career, right? And as soon as you get sober, everything, like, I mean, usually alcoholics are pretty, we have a lot of talent anyway. But I got to tell you, connecting to the conscious universe on a daily basis placed a big giant spotlight on what I was doing. My day job was super stressful. Some of you are coming here too with two things, like, I'm in a day job that's super stressful and I want to do this other thing because it's no longer in alignment. So for me, it was no longer in alignment with who I was becoming, and I had to walk away. So the truth is, once I hit a year of sobriety, I realized my true calling was to serve and help others. And I bet you any money that many of you here feel that too, that you want to serve and help others. Some of you don't know how or what, but we're going to figure that out, right? First, I thought I had to choose just one path, but I quickly learned that following all of my passions, no matter how disconnected they seemed, was what felt right. Now, I know a lot of you think you always have to pick just one thing. But in my experience, and through the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that I have done readings for and I've coached, etc., that is not true. You may have various interests, and I want to say to you that it's not all one and done. I made a living painting on people's clothes. I was an artist. I pursued music. I dove into the healing arts. I rekindled my passion for divination and metaphysics really early. And I studied everything. I'm an aromatherapist. I'm a Reiki master, past life regression, more. I just did everything. I was a smorgasbord. I got to tell you, if there was a class, I took it. And listen, my parents wanted to be a lawyer. I was in law school, but my heart led me elsewhere. Now, obviously, I had a detour with the violence and the alcohol and stuff, but once I got clean and sober, I was still young. I was in my mid-20s, right? Music was the start, but it had to take a back seat because my true calling, my real inspiration, and the spirit of my business has guided me every step of the way and brought me here to you, okay? So I had to trust. I engaged with spirit on a daily basis from the day that I got sober till you and I are sitting here together. And that is what works. No planning on my part, and even detours came thinking I was fascinated by this. The universe will put breadcrumbs in front of you. And you have this feeling of, oh, I should do this next, or maybe I need to sit this one out, or well, this makes no sense, but I'm supposed to go here. And another door opens and you start to recognize you're dancing with the cosmos. Have any of you had that experience? Right? Yes, right? You just know. It's like made no sense whatsoever. I remember getting my book deal with Hay House, and I was telling the person who runs the UK office that it was like there was three different people offered me book deals, and my agent didn't want me to sign with Hay House, and it was the worst deal. And I was like, I'm supposed to go there. And I ended up firing them and going with Hay House. It was pretty trippy. And I just know. So you just know. It's not intellectual. It's not an intellectual thing. Inspiration to do the next thing, but it doesn't end up being the thing. But it leads you to the next iteration, right? Does that make sense? Every step of the way was important for me, right? My breadcrumb story starts with getting certified as a massage therapist, specializing in aromatherapy back when it was brand new. And at the same time, I did tarot card readings for my friends, and they kept saying, you need to charge money for this. You're really good at it. So I did. And then I combined tarot readings with my massages and started earning more money. In fact, my illustrious business career, guess what it was? And I felt so rich. I charged $20 an hour for readings. And oh boy, when I raised my rate to $25, wow. I want you to think about that, right? I felt so prosperous. And this is where I came from 36 years ago. It's the feeling stage that opened me up. My container grew and grew, right? So how did I get from there to here? Well, lots of detours, lots of crossroads. What do I do now? Asking spirit every day. And I didn't always get the answer. Sometimes it was do what you do. Let yourself be here when it didn't feel like it was going where I wanted it to go. But boy, oh boy, looking back, every step of the way was so important. Hindsight, I want you all to think about hindsight right now. It's an extraordinary thing. I was praying to spirit, asking for guidance and seeking alignment in my life. I thought I knew the form it should take. I'm going to say that again. I thought I knew the form it should take, but I had to let go of that vision. And boy, am I stubborn. Oh, I'm so stubborn. Oh my God, I don't give up on anything. I'm like a dog with a bone. So hence I know when I share, what to do, what not to do. But anyway, I even gave up music for years, even though that's the thing I wanted since I was a little kid, because every door kept slamming shut. But metaphysical work, I didn't even do anything to make it happen. Readings, teaching workshops. I never had to work to find a client. They kept coming word of mouth. And we didn't have any social media, Google ads. We didn't even have cell phones. Hello. No cell phones. No computers. All right. This is all word of mouth. And as I ventured more into the world of readings and intuitive coaching, well, my imposter syndrome showed up, and I kept thinking, who am I to be handling this responsibility, doing these readings, holding these people's trust? I felt like I was a 4-year-old playing dress up in my mom's high heels. You ever do that? And I used to put her gloves on and they smelled nice with her perfume. And there I would be standing in the mirror like a little kid. And wasn't I supposed to be a musician? I used to tell people, I don't really do this. I'm really a singer, right? Seriously, that's what I did. Can you imagine? And I'm here now. Oh, But the struggle was real. You guys might have a similar struggle, questioning your worth, whether you truly should be the one to guide other people on their life's journeys, right? The first few years, I struggled with the imposter thing. Anybody know what that is? Right? All right. Right? Yes. Okay. I know what this is, by the way. Oh my God. I have learned so much about this. It often shows up when you're pushing your boundaries and growing beyond your comfort zone. It's a whisper from the ego. That's all it is, trying to keep you safe in the familiar. Don't go there. Whoa, she's going to get bigger and won't need us. It's also part of this thing that I call the great forgetting. And we forget that Spirit's our partner and assume everything is on our shoulders, that we're the one doing it, when in fact we're receiving the information. Especially when it comes to doing readings and stuff. That really hit me. That's why I never worry if I'm right or wrong anymore at all, because I know I'm receiving it and my job is to figure it out. But I'm like, inspiration is something we receive. Think about that. We receive it. It's like we're radios. We receive the information, the energy. It comes to us. We're channels. And it's not us alone. We don't decide to be inspired. I'm going to be inspired today. Really? I've tried that. No, we have to be open. I'll be open and curious. That's how we have to be. And FYI, a lot of us think we have a plan, but really it's Spirit that has the plan. Spirit has a plan. So at some point here, I want to share this with you too, that I literally had to surrender the whole plan. I thought I had a plan. I actually did have a plan ever since I was a kid. It was going to be this, me being a singer, me being on stage with a microphone, me being all these things, right? I had to give in to what was in front of me. And I had to follow the crumbs Spirit left for me. And once I stopped seeing myself as an imposter too, that was pretty quick. I figured that one out. And I embraced being a conduit for spiritual guidance. Everything got a lot easier. And it took time. So it's not one and done. So those of you here are saying you know about being an imposter, and you might already be successful in some areas. And just to let you know that this stuff happens to the best of us, right? We just have to be really compassionate with ourselves and others and realize that, okay, my ego's on and I forgot I'm not the only one here. I need to be patient. So does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. Yeah, so I am singing the Song of Spirit, you're right. But anyway, so I followed those crumbs. I began to understand that my unique experiences, insights, and connection with Spirit were valuable and authentic. And I want you to think about that for you too, because that's when things really started to shift. When I surrendered to what was in front of me, when I did that, synchronicities, wow, they started happening and all my needs got met in ways I could never have defined in advance, because I was looking at the outer world going, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Can you imagine? That's what all of us are doing right now too, right? That's why I decided to do this right now again, because we did this back in April. We're like, ooh, we need to do this again, because we're all being like seduced by all that stuff. So anyway, that lesson learned and the readings kept coming. The more I stopped fighting that, the more they came. I was able to raise my rates bit by bit as I trusted that I was worthy of that. Like, the crazy thing is, doing readings took me all over the world. I met the most fascinating people. That's how I landed at Hay House. And I do want to say too that I did have success as a singer-songwriter. I have 2 albums on the Universal Music label, but the music business chewed me up and spit me out. I mean, it was awful. It was not for me, but I was so stubborn. And we can manifest anything. Seriously, we can. But boy, oh boy. I've done 2 things simultaneously my whole life, and I can compare them and compare the way in which I operated in these 2 vocations. One, and that's why I really believe today, I did those things so I could teach this. Like, it really hit me, like, why was this so hard? And I'm like, oh, because one of your careers was surrendered and magical and completely unpredictable, rich with experience and genuine meaningful connections. And I could not control it whatsoever. The other, super painful. My ambition was strangling me. I was comparing myself to everybody all the time. It always felt like a struggle. It was confronting. I was always trying to make myself fit and hustle for my worth. Now, which one of these 2 would you pick? Right, I'm looking at your chat here. Right, exactly. Would we not? No, we would never pick the pain. I sure picked the pain. And then I used to make a thing, oh, well, I don't like happy songs. But It's crazy. But anyway, I'm glad I can teach you this because I literally have lived in both lanes at the same time for years and years and years. So let's quickly go back to how I got to Hay House and how I got here, because your teacher is a very successful business owner, but nothing happened right away, mind you. But Spirit was aligning the stars, so to speak, until I was ready. Now, it took me a longer time that likely it'll take many of you, right? So I never forced it. I always surrendered to it. And anytime I got super ambitious and comparing myself with other people, I would get miserable. And then I would get rid of that pretty quick because I couldn't stand being miserable. And then less and less and less it happened. And I always kept Spirit in the mix to help guide and work on my behalf. In 2005, I came to Hay House. The rest is history. 7 books. So far, 19 Oracle card decks that all together have sold over 2 million units worldwide, but that's just the beginning. I have the Oracle School experience, the Oracle Circle membership, the Dream Quest Mastermind, additional courses, tools. I mean, I have, and I'm telling you this because I want you to know that if I can do it, so can you. That's why I'm telling you this, right? I'm not telling you this to blow my own horn, because actually I do so much. I think I'm like, I have to lie down, right? You know, I do my Spirit of Your Business masterminds with successful business founders, and, you know, I do that too. But it's like, I failed a lot too, right? I never planned on doing all these things. I literally do what my bliss is. And I'm called to, I knew I was called to do Oracle cards. That's been my calling. And that's been a gift I feel I get to do. But it's like, success came not because I've chased money, property, or prestige. That's not at all. Success came to me when I focused on loving what I did and providing what I knew to help people. And I know a lot of stuff. So it'd be like, oh, why don't I try this? You know, now that I've gone back to art, for example, you know, 2.5 years now, you know, I'm adding art to things. It's like, you know, a lot of people talk about when it comes to the success of their business, they don't talk about inspiration, right? They look at numbers, like I make this much money, or I've done this, or I've gotten so many sales, or I've got so many clients, or, you know, I'm doing stuff like Colette or something. I've had people come into my masterminds that wanted to be me, right? It's like, you be you, right? Right? And I have to say this, all this growth and expansion, really, I would say to you, because I started really focusing on this content about 10 years ago. And then I started playing with it, and I started realizing that it's like I had a guardian angel built into my business, which of course today I call the spirit of my business. So when you nurture your partnership with the universe, like I did, the spirit of your business, when I did that with me, I was able to co-create a life I love step by step, but nothing happened overnight. So that's why I don't like it when people say that you're going to have instant success and I'm going to show you how to make gazillions of dollars like that. You know, I think that's false advertising. I think life is going to happen for you as you are ready to receive and do. And as long as you stay on the path and you don't quit, you are capable of success you never dreamt of. The girl that I was 36 years ago when I started doing readings and doing metaphysical stuff and really pursuing my music career, I had no clue that I would be where I am now. It wasn't even an ambition. I had no idea this was going to happen. It was never something I wanted, right? It was just something that came as a result of. So that doesn't mean that I don't manifest. I'm a master manifester. But the bottom line is that, you know, you also have to deal with obstacles and failures along the way. And that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, right? So does that make sense to everybody too? Yeah, we are going to be doing demos in the next 3 days, you guys. We are. I know somebody's asking, right? So I just wanted to get that with you. So anyhow, let's enter the next part of this workshop together so you can have your own unique experience with the spirit of your business. And as I said, I'm not here to BS you and tell you you're going to be a business unicorn. But I do want to help you see you can navigate the challenges that arise with grace. You can be prosperous beyond what you think is possible right now. Isn't that wild? You really can, in spite of what's going on in the world. Remember, when you are successful, you can help more people. Okay? Just simple fact. That's how that works. You can find the alignment that's right for you. You can develop a personal, unique relationship with the conscious universe. And you can start to trust that partnership and recognize your own resourcefulness and source of inspiration. I failed at a ton of things. I hit rock bottom. I know what it's like to not believe in oneself, but I also know that there is a way out. If you're having any struggle whatsoever, if you just trust in Spirit as your co-creative partner, and one day at a time, learn to trust in yourself, anything is possible when you open your connection to the universe. So the goal of the workshop, and again, this is really what I'm sharing with you now is just an introduction to how I want you to think over the next today, tomorrow, and the next day. So you need to know, like, oh, okay, right, some of my failures, they counted. This is good too, right? Don't judge anything as not, that you didn't do something. It's all part of how you got to sit in front of me today and how you're going towards the success that is meant for you. So I want to show you the critical things you need, how to turn your visions into reality. So this is how you go from treating your business as just a business, overworking and hustling to get where you want to get, to transforming your business into the sacred vessel of abundance and emotional fulfillment. We want that, right? Tell me if you want that. Right, you all want that. Okay, right? We want that. But we need to shift our perspective if we're going to get that, okay? So it just doesn't happen because we want it. So I want us all to agree on one thing, okay? You're a business. And I will continue to say business, but if you're here because you're writing a book or creating something new, this all applies. So it's a business, right? So it's the way you exchange your energy with the world. If you're writing a book, same thing. So just switch it, but we're calling it a business. Your business is a living thing. It has its own unique spirit. It's just like a special guardian angel assigned to your business. It's the spirit of your business, and you are in partnership with it. Now, when I talked about a cosmic blueprint, it means a blueprint for success. So the spirit of your business has that. If you're inspired, you already have what it takes to be successful. It's built into your inspiration. Okay? Even if the first inspiration that you have leads you to a better one, it's all part of it. Then all of a sudden, the whole bunch of maps show up for you, and it is shown to you like you're going up a staircase one step at a time. Okay, you have to trust that. We have to agree that we're going to trust that. So the spirit of your business shows up to help you get where you need to go when you know they're there. So let's explore how to connect with them. Now, again, I know some of it's out there for some of you, and many of you have done this with me before, but just bear with me. This is one of the most important metaphysical elements to include in running a successful business. And I promise it'll be fun, and it is something you can do over and over again. So let's get started with this exercise I call Meet the Spirit of Your Business. If you've already downloaded the PDF from the dashboard, great. You can use it to follow along with me now. And if you didn't, doesn't matter, you can get it later. So just grab a pen and paper so you can write what you see. Now, when I say the word see, you might feel instead of see. You might just know something. You might not actually see anything visually, but you'll just know it, right? So it's like, if the tree would look like this, what would it look like? And you would get, oh, that, right? So don't try to force yourself to see, but the type of visualization I'm talking about comes from your heart, and you'll just know, or you'll just get a quick glimpse, right? It's not going to be like a movie that turns on. A very small percentage of people have that experience. So just know the way you do this is going to be perfect for you. So even if you think you cannot meditate, and even, like I said, you've never seen anything, I want you to be open-minded, and let's get going. You need to know it's normal to not see things, okay? So I know some of you are going to struggle to try it anyway. Everybody does that, even when I tell you not to. But I just want to remind you, you know what it feels like when your favorite book gets turned into a TV show and it doesn't look like anything the way you saw it in your head, right? So seeing, it's knowing, it's feeling. It's like an active daydream, okay? So pay attention to your senses and your thoughts, and let's just get relaxed as I talk, and let's get comfortable. And if you need to put headphones on or shut the door to the room you're in so you aren't disturbed, you are going to meet the spirit of your business. Take a deep breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale slowly. Allow yourself to relax and let go any tension in your body. You were delivered the gift of inspiration, the essence of which was gifted to you by the divine. All inspirations are divine. Consider the great consciousness needed a person to steward the concept into being in the material world, and you are the chosen one. The outcome of the inspiration is in your hands. You are chosen. Human beings are needed as a resource from spirit to steward formlessness into form. This is a partnership. You're partnering with the spirit of this business that may or may not have come to life yet. Perhaps spirit is something that hasn't come to life. Perhaps it's the business that's in front of you now. The spirit of this business, spirit of this project, they've been here all along. Spirit has already sent you this. You already answered the call. You have something very specific you said yes to. You said yes to inspiration. You allowed it. But you don't have full access yet to the blueprint of its success. You have a narrow, limited view when you are only moving forward on human will and ambition alone. So let's meet the creative intermediary between the physical world and the spiritual. Spirit says, why would you think I would give you this idea with a blueprint for success without giving you a guide to help you? We're going to enter a room before you meet the spirit of your business. It's a boardroom. You're all alone. What does the boardroom look like? Make note of the furniture, the lighting, the colors. Are there windows? What do you see? How do you feel in this room? Look around. Walk around the room, take a deep breath, smell the air. This is your boardroom. You and the spirit of your business will meet here. So how do you feel? As you look around the boardroom, see a ball of light forming outside of a door. Spirit is sending you the spirit of your business. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly and invite the spirit of your business to come into the room. And as it enters, notice its energy and how it makes you feel. Who are they? What do they look like? Is it a person, an animal, a cartoon? What are they wearing? What energy do they bring with them? As the spirit of your business introduces itself, listen to what it has to say. How does it feel to meet them? Really get this is your partner. Allow yourself to engage with the spirit of your business. They came with a gift for you. They're going to give you the gift. And what is it? How does this gift make you feel? As you connect with the spirit of your business, feel the partnership between you and the divine. You are being guided and supported every step of the way. Trust in this process. Take a deep breath in, exhale slowly. Pay attention to how you feel and what transpired in the room. It's time to say goodbye to the spirit of your business for now. Thank the spirit of your business for its presence and guidance. And know you can connect with it whenever you need to. This is just the beginning. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and return to the present moment. Remember the guidance and wisdom you receive from the spirit of your business, and trust in the journey ahead. So how was that for you? I'm going to look at the chat. Look at the chat. Yawning, yeah, you're letting go stuff. Wow, right? Look at everybody's had something wild, right? Wasn't it amazing? So I want to ask you, wow, look at how fast it's going. I can't even read the chat, it's so good. So did this, just out of curiosity, did the spirit of your business ask you to make any changes or imply that you needed to change something? Did it challenge you in any way? Or did it scare you? Did you want to spend more time with it to get to know it? Did you recognize the energy? So I want you to write, jot down any thoughts around what you just experienced. You can answer the questions on the worksheet, or you can take some time to journal about it later. But I really love this exercise, and I love hearing people describe their boardrooms, their first impressions. So please jot down what you think you saw, or the gifts you received, what they represented. Then you can look up the spiritual or symbolic meaning of those things. You go on Google. Google is amazing. Get curious about all the details, and you may start to learn so many new things about yourself. This is one big metaphor. So whatever you see or don't see, what you feel, or it's all, you can analyze all of it. It's amazing because spirit speaks in symbols. So I think we're going to give you a few minutes, just a couple minutes to jot down some stuff. What time is it? Nope, we have some time because I want to bring people up. Look at, I love this. Well, based on compassion, I love it. Just energy's good. Energy is fine. You'll figure it all out. Ooh, look at this. Yeah, and actually, as you think about it, like, it'll come to you after the fact too. This is just how this works. It just starts to come to you. Like, you might be sitting having a cup of coffee in an hour and you're like, oh my God, I know what it means. Okay, so let's bring some volunteers up, and anybody that had an epiphany that would like to share, anybody in the Zoom room is willing to come on screen. I love bringing you guys up on screen. I like to do this every day, so we're gonna bring a bunch of people up. And I can tell you, I had a life-changing experience when I did this exercise, when I was putting the course together. I have a course on this too. It blew my mind, and I'll share with you another time, but I made huge changes as a result of it, and it scared the shit out of me. I'll just tell you, it was really crazy. Okay, Mark, where do I look? Oh, over here. So I'm looking over there.
No,
Oh, press number two. Okay. And they'll be in front of me. There you are. Hello. I can see you
Hi,
in front of
Colette.
me. How are you?
Good and you?
Good, good, good. Okay. So what happened?
Okay, so obviously mine was in almost like a skyscraper. They had a beautiful view of the city, but also the coast it was a view of the coast as well. And then my spirit guide was actually a very, very sexy, strong male figure, okay,
That's
in this like
okay. That's
awesome suit.
good.
And he had a lot of sex appeal. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking. And then he kind of like gave me like a red rose. So I don't know what that symbolizes.
You're
So
going to look it
yes.
up. But
Yeah.
so when you talk about somebody that's sexy, it means it's attractive. So if you look
Yes.
at, because I met you, didn't I do a reading for
Yes,
you? Obviously, yeah,
I was
right.
in
And
your,
another
yes, that
one.
was me. And I was crying.
Oh yeah, at the big event. Okay, because I'm like, I know you.
Yes.
Okay, so let's break it down, and this will help you guys figure out what just happened. So the fact that you saw a male figure that was very sexy, that's
Mm,
you attracting the people, right? So charisma,
okay.
charismatic, a sexy kind of a thing. It doesn't mean that, like you're going to have an affair with the spirit of your business, right? It's
It would be weird.
but what does a sexy man do? He attracts people, right, to the
Okay, yes.
business,
Mm,
right? He attracts the people to the business.
okay.
So that's one thing. He gave you a red rose.
Yes.
Okay, so a rose is a beautiful flower, as we know, but also has thorns. So
Yeah.
he's saying to you, I'm gifting you with this to know that, sometimes you think you're not going to make it, and that's you get a thorn, and you think that
Mm.
this beautiful flower is not going to come, but it does. And red is the color of money and
Oh,
ancestry, and it's the first chakra, right? Color is red, the first energy center. So that's what that means. So I want you to really sit down now after this. And I mean, I'm going to give you guys things to do over the next, tomorrow and the next day, but ask it questions. Just sit down with it
okay.
and say, like, what do you need from me? Like, what are you here to offer me? Now, we're going to be having other exercises tomorrow and the next day that will bring you more into a relationship with it. But I really want you to think about, what does it mean to look out of a beautiful skyscraper? So does that mean you're successful? What did the room look like? Right? So what kind of
Mm,
skyscraper? So these are all things it's also tall and high. It means that you're going to move further up from where you are now, right? So
okay.
any kind of detail has a meaning. Does that make sense, Judel? Everything has a meaning. So I
It
want you to
does.
spend time.
But it's also very formal, and I'm not a very formal person, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm a very relaxed, calm. I wear caps all the time because I love it, and
Yeah,
that was
but
just
it
very
could,
formal.
but
So,
so for the formality piece brings you a container for it, right? So in other words,
okay,
formality equals structure.
okay.
All right, so it equals structure. It may say you can't be loosey-goosey about the actual business structure. The structure of the
Okay.
business needs to be formalized. Example, now we get
Okay.
practical. You need to register a business. You need to have a tax number, whatever it
Mm,
is that you do in Australia or New Zealand or wherever you are. I can't remember. Um,
South Africa.
South Africa, close, not even. But I know it's somewhere not here, right? So,
Yeah.
but you get it? So those practical things, like every single thing means something, and you need to spend time to allow this to sink in. What else could this mean? And that's the one question everybody needs to start asking. What could this mean? What else could this mean? What could this mean? Like, and what would that mean that I noticed this? What, and then just keep going and look, and you'll start to see, oh, this may not be me, but this is what I need,
Okay.
right? Let's get
That
somebody
makes
else.
sense.
Thanks,
Thank you
Lovey.
so much. Okay.
Woo!
Bye.
All right. Sometimes our spirit, the spirit of our business, is a strange character. Like I had Idris Elba as mine. The actor showed up as my spirit of my business. I was completely freaked out. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I know, damn, I know, same thing. I'm like, what? But he was the character in the 3,000 Years of Longing, right? So that was, so then you go down a rabbit hole of going like, what else do I know this person from besides him being an actor, right? So you'll have a lot of fun with this. And it's incredible, the meaning. So I have who in front of me right now? What's your name?
My name's Deanna. Nice to meet you, Colette.
Hi, Deanna. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so
Thank
what
you.
was yours? Let's talk about yours.
So they are always right here, and I know they're right here. And when we did the exercise, they told me that I'd only forgotten about them. And
Right.
like you said, I've been white knuckling for a long time,
Yeah.
doing. And they said you need to trust. And I can relate to you because I've had a very abusive background and I left that. And so when
Yep.
you have that as a woman, you
Yep.
know you don't trust anybody.
Well, you got to trust, I know. But so do you have a second chair there? Do you have another chair at
No.
your, no? Okay, you don't have another chair in the room?
Yeah, yes, actually, but it's on the other side.
Oh, okay.
You
Because,
want to face it?
yeah, go get it.
Okay.
Yeah, go get the chair because I'm going to just show you guys something really quickly.
Okay.
It wasn't part of the plans today, but I think it'll be very cool.
See if
Because
I can bring it into the camera.
Yeah, perfect. That's good enough.
If
I
I
just
can.
need, okay, so I want you to sit in that chair as the white knuckle chair.
Okay. This other one?
Yeah, go over there and still talk. And then tell
Okay.
me okay, you're that person doing that with no spirit of your business at all. Tell me what it feels like,
It's lonely. It's sad.
right? And what
Empty.
choice, empty, it feels empty. Does it feel, are you scared at all? Or you have any fear? Would you have any, what other feelings do you have there?
I have a fear of time because I have two jobs. One is my business and one is caring for my special needs daughter.
Okay,
So in
perfect.
this chair, I'm scared.
Okay, go in the other chair. Let's get out of that
Okay.
chair. Now in this chair, spirit of your business is behind you. You remember them right now. You're not doing it by yourself. What's the difference?
I feel straighter.
Oh,
My
you're
my
actually
body
sitting
feels
up straighter.
straighter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Feels
have any?
straighter and it feels like I don't have to worry as much. It's basically what I'm hearing in my head right now is just trust because they have
Yep.
the blueprint, but I
Yep.
can't always see it.
Right, exactly. And sometimes we forget, and that's okay. This is why we remember it. It takes discipline to remember it. Ask my husband. I teach this stuff, and when I'm really tired, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, those are the HALT, right? If any one of those four are activated, especially for me as tired, I'm turning
Right.
into a child, and I'm like, ah, it's not doing my best.
Thank you for
Does
helping me feel better today because I
right?
experienced that and I say to myself, some spiritual person you are.
No, you can't say that because spiritual people are human beings, right? I mean, the minute we get into spiritual, that kind of thought of like, we're better than or whatever, it's bullshit anyway. That's like, trust me, it's crap. You're humans, right? So exactly. Right. Okay. So now I'm gonna give you a big hug. We're gonna bring somebody else up.
Thank you so much for your
Thank
time today. I
you.
appreciate it. Big,
Thank
big
you.
hugs. Thank you.
Right? The H, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Yeah, so that share exercise is stuff that I do in most of my workshops. So yeah, if you decide to keep coming with me afterwards, it's like we do lots of stuff like that. Hello, and what's your name? And that is the coolest background I've ever seen.
Thank you. And it's Melanie.
Hi, Melanie. All
Hi.
right. So what was your experience like meeting the spirit of your business?
Well, it is, first of all, I have to say a couple of things. I have a background like yours. I also had a business that
Yeah,
I white
white
knuckled,
knuckled.
an imposter syndrome. And amazingly enough, I actually did well in my business. It dissolved. I didn't do well financially, but I did change people's lives. So it
Yeah,
turns out like that was kind of like what that was about. So my experience, and now I'm at a stage where I don't know what I'm going to do now. So that's why
great.
I'm here. Like, what am I going to do now? So the great thing was mine was like in a cottage. It
Okay.
and it was all green and lots of plants and creative artwork. And my spirit guide was like a crone,
Oh,
like a
wisdom.
sage wisdom
The
gal.
wisdom. Crone
Yeah,
means crown.
crown.
Okay. Crone means crown. Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Yep.
and it was just lovely. And she was trying to get me to relax. She's like, this is where you are now and where you're going, and all uh the
What was?
learning is done. I faced my own personal through the drama and trauma. It was nothing was available for
Yeah,
me
same.
during those years, you
I'm
know.
66, right? So it's like
I just turned 68 Sundays. So
Woo!
this year, with your work and Radley's work, my work, and all that other stuff, it's been really wonderful because I have
This is a reminder.
been able to bring all that stuff up
Just let me know
and
if this is done.
really move through it. And I feel like I'm done now. So, you know, for the most part.
Yeah, I know what you
This
mean.
was just such a beautiful energies of greens with flowers and
So green is healing.
regenerative.
Let's just do a quick rundown about what this means, right? So the crone is the crown, right? So we typically, things have changed, you know, the way we describe what a crone is, right? So typically, you know, they've become now like the hooked nose old lady that's ugly and useless, whatever. But the crone is actually the queen. We are at our greatest. Actually, postmenopausal women have more access to their creativity and a collective mind than anyone else. There's books being written about that right now by people in Hay House. It's fascinating. So, right? So you are in, she's telling you that that cottage, which is a place of rest, cottages are rest, green is healing, flowers grow, right? So what are those things? So just sit there with that and play with it and just imagine what else you saw in there, right? Like what else did I see? So the
Artwork.
spirit, what?
Artwork.
Artwork,
Different
there you
kinds of
go.
creative art and all kinds
Perfect.
of different art.
Perfect. So she's either that's literal art or it's the fact that she's giving you, you have everything that you need to create this next step. And we're a co-creative partner with her. So this is very cool. You'll see what happens tomorrow when you go there again.
Thank you.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so let's get somebody else up. Thank you for coming. I love your vision. Yep. And I'm not telling you who's writing the book. Oh, somebody's a crone coach? Ooh, that's very cool. Okay, hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Sammy. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Sammy. Hi, Sammy. Those of you in the chat, I have no way of choosing you. So my team in California is choosing the people, so I'm not picking you. So just know that if you say me, please, you have to put your digital hand up. They have to find you, and Spirit's going to pick the right people. And then we have tomorrow and the next day too. Okay, Sammy, what was your experience?
So I'm brand new to this. I'm actually really excited because I have my first event. I'm a fitness coach, so I have my first event this weekend. So I feel like this was perfect. So
Love it.
I had my board meeting was white. It had like pink and purple lights above.
Okay.
Everything. It was like a long white table. It had lotus. That's my symbol is lotus lifts. So it had
Yeah.
lotus plates all around it, flowers everywhere. There was like wind in my hair. I was dancing. And then when you ask the spirit guide to come, it's funny because the gift came first. So the gift
Oh,
white horse and it had
cool.
like a beautiful gold and diamond like harness over its head and over its body.
Wow.
And then I just started my gift of seeing things, which is why I'm here. My
Right.
coach recommended this. So I've been seeing things in my home. So all of a sudden I saw like an angelic figure and she said her name was Penelope.
Oh, so you're going to look up the origins of the word Penelope.
Okay.
A horse represents help, right? So the horse represents help. White is the color of infinity, right? So white carries all colors, right? So, and it's a new beginning as well, too. And depending on the culture, Japan sees it as death, but that means new beginning, the death of the old, the beginning of something new. So the color white. So, so what did the spirit of your business look like? Or was that the horse? Because the spirit of your business may have been the horse.
Honestly, I was confused about that. Like it came first, but then when you asked for the gift, that's when the second figure came and she was like white, kind of like angelic theme. I feel like she had like a short blonde bob, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever came to you is 100% correct.
She reminded me of like fairy energy, but she was bigger. But you know, like Tinkerbell, like the little like I've been told I have that, and my clients like that about me. So she just reminded me of that, like just toppling.
Right. So so when you look at what this means, like the spirit of our businesses can morph, by the way, too, into different shapes and different faces. So the first time you meet is usually the most important, right? So when you look at this, you say, oh, I'm going to get the help I need, no problem, because that's what the horse was. And then that Tinkerbell being is the playful quality that you have, and that you want to keep that going, right? So we'll see what happens. You'll spend some more time with it today, and I trust me, after about an hour you might get other things that you saw, or because the place lives in our psyches, it goes with us for the whole day, and something might change or something will show up and we're like, oh, that's cool, like what's that? Right. So yeah, it'll be with you all day today. Thank you. And good luck this weekend. Congratulations.
Much.
Yeah, very cool. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Who else is up next? We usually like to try to keep these down to an hour, but I think we'll definitely take one more person for sure. Or two. Hello. What's your name?
My name is Robbie.
Hi, Robbie.
Robin. I go by Robbie. Yeah.
What a cool name.
Cute.
How was that?
Pardon me?
How was the experience for you?
It was amazing, and it's already shown me so much because I think I spent most of my life dissociated from self.
Yep.
And so when you first said, what does the boardroom look like? I just imagined a typical boardroom. But then when you said, remember, this is your boardroom,
And it changed.
immediately I was transferred to the hollow in the forest with the trees
Wow.
and the green and the nature. I could feel the dirt underneath my feet.
Oh,
And my spirit guide was Galadriel
right.
from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's cool. Why not? She's like pretty wild.
Yeah. And her gift to me wasn't an object. It was the word courage.
Oh, yeah. Well, you need that, right? You
I
need
do.
that courage, right? That's good. You need that
I do.
courage, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People think, oh, I'm just going to start a business. You need to be brave. You need to be brave. And I love that you went to the place where you belong, that magical
Yeah.
place, because that's really special.
That's something when you did the 2-chair therapy, I thought, oh, I need to practice this
Yeah.
because I feel that divide and I really need to do that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I do that process in Oracle School. I do that process in most of my courses because it really works. And I really thought we would do that today. It wasn't planned, but I just thought it would really help that person too. So yeah, getting that disconnect, it's just like, wait a sec, am I here? Who am I? Who am I listening to? Where am I? What am I identifying with? And just the remembering of it, because it's so easy. We are trained not to remember this. It is built into us to not remember by years and years and years of conditioning when they separated out the concept of spirit and matter, right? Our eldest ancestors knew different. The ones they called primitive had more to offer than us. Anyway, this
really
was
did.
awesome. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll take one
Thank
more
you.
person. Can we take one more person? Is that okay? Take one more person. Ooh, I love that you saw the empty. Actually, Amy Hunter, I do want to say something to you about that. If you saw the meeting room from your old job and the room was empty, it's time to let that go. So just say goodbye to the room. Yeah. Why does it matter what your mind uses to transport the message? I'm not sure what you mean by that question. What your mind uses. Well, you'll have to. Yeah, and if you didn't see anything, don't worry, because you'll have the opportunity to listen back to the meditation again. Sometimes in groups, it's like it takes a minute, or you'll start thinking about it later today. Who is this person? I just see a Buddha.
Can you hear me? I don't know why my picture is not up there.
I can.
Okay,
Hi,
I'm Kelly.
You're Kelly. Hi, Kelly. How you
I'm
doing?
Kelly. I'm wonderful. Excuse me, and so glad to be here. I'm in Oracle School. Absolutely love you. So thank you everybody for holding space for me. So for me, I got my boardroom actually kept changing, which
That's
I mean the
good. So
table
it's
would change.
okay.
Yeah. It was windows and there was plants. And then the spirit of my business came in, but there were 6 of them.
That's
And they
okay
were
too.
like they were the light they were like the light beings from the movie The Dark Crystal
Oh,
that
wow.
all
I
came.
haven't seen that in years with David Bowie.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was the other one.
Oh, that was the other one. No, the Dark Crystal were
Yeah.
those little elves.
Yes.
Yes,
And
yes, yes,
they had
with
to
the
put,
puppets.
yes, the Skeksis and the Mystics and
Yeah.
and then the Mystics turned into the light beings. And but the color of the room was a beautiful bluish gray,
Oh,
and
nice.
which is actually the color of my healing room. So that was
Yeah.
quite wonderful. But the gift that they gave me, they opened a box with a golden key,
Yeah, so
and they
oh, go ahead. What else?
oh, I was gonna say, then
Yeah.
they just surrounded me, and it was trust your knowledge.
Right. And you have the key. So so everything means something in these journeys, right? Even if you didn't see anything, but you have a story in your head, that all means something. So every element should be looked up. Look up the spiritual meaning of. You can look at dream books. You can look at, like, do the due diligence, everybody here. Go on an Easter egg hunt and find it. So a key is obvious. It unlocks a door, right? So if somebody gives you a key, you have the door to unlock. You don't have to chase it. Remember, they say, oh, find a door that's open. You have a key to open the door to your own success. So when people get a key, lots of people got a key. So right? So you'll end up realizing that, wait a sec, I have already what I need. I have the key to open the door. And then tomorrow we'll do another different exercise the day after. But I want all of you to really spend a little time, don't asking me or someone else, ask spirit, say, like, what could this mean to me and to my business? And then look it up. Names like Penelope, like, look up the spiritual meaning of the name Penelope. Just spiritual meaning of key. Just put in spiritual meaning of, and then you'll have a story. And then I'll talk to you guys tomorrow about that. Anyway, that was fun, right?
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much. I hope you've all enjoyed this. We wanted to keep it short so that you have time to integrate the information and really enjoy yourself here. Tomorrow, we're going to go deeper, but really spend some time today, because now you've opened the door to the spirit of your business. And if you sit down and have a cup of tea and just meditate, see what happens. You might get more clues. These are all clues. We want you to follow the clues. Right, Mark? There's Mark. Anyway, all right. So I love hearing these stories for you. So if you're watching this on replay, please take a couple minutes later today, share in the comments on the dashboard, because I read them. I'm going to read them in my pajamas later. And remember, please look over your notes. Start to go through, explore what you think the different things that you noticed mean. What do they mean to you? Like asking things like, was your boardroom empty or cold? Or was it unconventional with sofas and warm lighting? Or do you have colorful rugs? Were they plants? Was it in the forest? Did you feel uncomfortable in the boardroom, or did you feel worthy of being in that room? Happy, excited, nervous? What are you making the gift you received mean? What do you think it represents? What's the greater message you feel it symbolizes? I think this is all in your PDF. So there's so much more in that exercise for you to inspect and uncover. And the best part is no experience is wrong or bad. It's meant to be fun, and something will come that will really hit you. Like that lady before that wrote in here, it's my old job. It was empty. That's great. Your old job and the thing that you used to do doesn't hold anything for you. So you might still have an attachment to that. Anyway, this is just the first baby step in connecting with the spirit of your business. We have 2 more days. So let's just recap today. 1, I shared that the most important thing to understand is that inspiration comes from spirit. You are not doing this alone. I know how it can feel lonely, but you are not alone. You have a partner, and your partner has the blueprint for your success. And then we talked about trust. You have to trust. Trust that you're on the right path, that your partner is the universe. It's guiding you along the way, even if it doesn't seem like it makes sense. Even if you're not getting to where you want to be, when you want to be right there. These are steps, right? Even when you find yourself needing to pivot, you have to trust and surrender these expectations and limitations you're placing on yourself. You just got to trust. You have to do the work is number 3. Like Joseph Campbell said, you take 1 step towards the gods. They're going to take 10 steps towards you. So what's your 1 step? You can't just trust and surrender and expect it to show up on a platter, right? Like you got to put in some effort. Of course you do. You have to keep moving forward. And it doesn't have to be giant leaps forward. Take a baby step. Progress is progress, and it shows the universe that you mean business. I think this is one of the most important points. Your business is not an inanimate vehicle for you just to make money. And I loved what I think, was it Melanie said? That she realized that her business, even though she didn't have a lot of financial success, had great meaning, right? So it's like success comes in so many different forms. Your business has a spirit. You cannot ignore the spirit of your business if you want to be successful. So you want to develop a relationship with the spirit. The number 1 thing you need to do to find success and fulfillment in this. So you're going to have to cozy up to it, make friends with it. And I'm going to help you continue to do that in this workshop. You just met today, right? Now, before we keep going, I know some of you might be thinking, I don't get this. I'm having a tough time. I can't see it. I can't feel it. Don't worry. Do the exercise again with the replay. And I want you to consider this. Everything is energy. Your business is energy. You are energy. The universe is energy. And when we learn to work with this energy, we can create amazing things in our lives and our businesses. And even if you're not sure about the idea of spirit, I encourage you to keep an open mind. Give this a try. I mean, most people that show up in front of me don't have a problem with this. You might think, oh, I don't have time for this. I get it. Running a business, writing a book, starting anything new is a lot of work. It can be. And you can feel like, oh, there's not enough time in a day. But here's the thing. Taking just a teeny bit of time to connect with the spirit of your business daily can actually save you a lot of time and make your life easier in the long run. I know it does, and I'm living proof that it does. When you're working in partnership with the universe and your business's spirit, things tend to flow more smoothly, for sure. And you attract more of the right opportunities that are meant for you. And you feel aligned and you feel on purpose. So take the time to do this. Even if you just watch the video replays in this workshop and complete the worksheets and that's it, it's going to have an impact on you. And for those of you who are live with me today, you can't unsee what you saw. You can do it again. Like I did mine when I first started developing this stuff. I did it a few times and had really wild experiences. So don't be shy, just dive in. I've given this to you for free, so do it. I'll tell you, like I think I said, when I first did mine, I was afraid of mine. I thought I didn't get it right. Like I was like, this is wrong. I was like, what the hell? I'm the one that's teaching this. What the hell just showed up for me here? But I'm telling you, and I'll tell you more details another time, but holy crap, that whole experience, I was scared. I was like, what is this that's just happening to me? And it forced me to look at some of the risks that I had to take that I was scared of doing. And it enabled me, bless you, Mark, to like show up for you. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, okay? You don't need to be a spiritual expert or have any special abilities. You just need an open heart and a willingness, right? So just keep showing up. I want to let you in on a little secret because in tomorrow's live session of this workshop, we're going to take things to the next level and dive deep into why you may be blocking yourself from a stream of abundance. All right, and how to tap into it. And I'm going to show you how to take your business out to dinner. This is all about getting to know your business on a spiritual level and understand its needs because it wants you to be successful. It's about you listening to it instead of telling it what to do. Very different way to do this. Anyway, once you align yourself with the spirit of your business, I mean, the universe just knows exactly how to deliver what's in your highest good. And let's face it, who wouldn't want to go on a date with the universe? Like, it's the coolest thing you could do. Mark is like, me, pick me. Anyway, noon tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. Those of you who have already done this, you can do this over and over and over. And I bet you any money you got a whole different experience this time than the last time you did it. Anyway, I'm going to see you all tomorrow. And if you found this useful, share this with your friends. They can watch the replay and then you guys can talk about it and have a real discussion. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow at noon. Bye.